Hey, good evening, everybody. This is Colin Go, and with me here is Colin E. How are you doing this evening,
Hi.
everyone? Yeah, and also we are very excited to be here today to present to you the fifth episode of the property market analysis. This is something that we didn't plan for last week, but I think what happened was Colin E was sharing so much value that we really needed an extra session to end off the topic. So, last week what Colin was sharing was really, being able to find how can you find an undervalued property by up to $300,000. So he was sharing a couple of mistakes to avoid. Maybe later, Colin, if you can just maybe quickly sum up what happened last week. And then what we want to really dive into today is where to find them. I think Colin E has really put up a lot of examples today. And for those of you who are logging in right now and watching right now, thank you so much for being here with us. I guess you must have a lot of questions and have your questions ready. Put it inside the comment box below. Okay? So, Colin E, over
Yeah,
to
hi.
you.
Okay. Hi everyone. Nice to see you all again. And I think time flies very quickly. I think this is on the already the fifth episode of the property market analysis that myself, and Colin Go are doing this together, right? So I hope that this week is a bit of a change, not because the topic that I'm going to talk about tonight is going to be something which is really very exciting and very passionate about, that I really want to share a lot of information with you guys. But also at the same time, I think this is a transitional week where we finally have exited the circuit breaker mode, and hopefully things will only improve and get better from now on, right? Be it, for our own livelihood, for family members, for the society as well, right? So hopefully that moving forward, maybe the next few weeks, we'll have more good news in terms of transitioning to phase two, right? Phase two of the reopening, right? So we have more businesses resume, right? So let me just check who is with me right now. So I see Desmond Chong, Rian Zhang, Charan Singh, Matthews, Mahendra, right? These are some of the names, and Lin Yap as well. So thank you very much, you guys, for being so passionate and have been following my so-called my program for the last 4 weeks, right? So tonight, what I'm going to talk about is going to be something which is very relevant for you today if you are looking to buy a property, right? Essentially, the topic tonight is, right, how do you spot new projects which can give you that capital appreciation potential? And how much are we talking about here? Easily at least 200,000, right? So tonight will just be on new projects, right? There's no resale because the last 2 weeks I really talk about resale properties, right? How they fare in comparison to new launches. So maybe just very quickly, let me go into my slides and we can get tonight started off. Otherwise, we cannot end tonight again because last week we were supposed to actually finish everything by last week, but somehow I only managed to talk about the 4 mistakes which property investors usually make, right? So the thing is, that's why we have this continuation this week. So okay, I want to share my slides. Let me just
Yeah, so while Colin is sharing his slide, for all of us who are watching today, hey, come on, this is the last episode already. Let's give Colin E some support, shall we? If you really benefited from his sharing over the past 4 episodes, past 4 weeks during the circuit breaker, hey, let him know your message. If you think that you have benefited from what he shared, you have found value from what he shared, let him know by commenting in the comments below. All right. So I'm hearing a lot of repeated names, and I'm seeing a lot of repeated names so far. And really, thank you, fans for keep on tuning in week after week. All right, we have a couple of questions, and then I think 38 Javoy is one of the hot questions right now because of the word fire sale everywhere. We'll come to that a little bit later. Hachan also has some. But Colin, can you quickly bring us through what we talked about last week? Just very, on the surface.
Okay, just to confirm, you all can see my slides on your screen?
Yes, we can.
Slides? Okay, so this is tonight's topic, right? How to spot new projects that are undervalued by 300,000, right? So very quickly, just to recap, last week, right, last week, what I mentioned are the 4 mistakes that buyers normally make when they buy new projects, right? And one of the biggest mistakes they make is to buy based on future transformation potential, right? So I got 4 slides here, right? The first one is Great Southern Waterfront. The second one, bottom left, is the Jurong Lake District, and the one is the Paya Lebar Air Base on the top right, and the bottom right is the Seletar Aerospace, right? So all these over the last 5 to 8 years have been used to illustrate, right? If you buy certain new launches in this area, you are going to make a lot of money. That's what developers tell you, right? So I have explained last week the potential pitfalls of buying based on the future promise, right? So this is the first most common mistake. The second most common mistake is that a lot of people buy based on a product feature, right? Product feature essentially means things like, the design, the layout, or the location. Sometimes it's very close to MRT, near to good schools and all these things. It is okay to buy based on these product features, but I think for me, these are all secondary, right? So this is also the second most common mistake which a lot of people make in terms of buying a new property. The third common mistake is that a lot of people will buy based on promotion given by developers, right? But they may not know that such promotion may be already priced into the final price, right? So this is one example where the developer gave you at least 1.18 million for the top 10 floors, and they are trying to push out, try to clear all the units on the top 10 level, right? And the fourth and final mistake, which I think a lot of people also make, is to buy based on emotion, right? Emotion, which in this case is just simply, they want to buy a property, and then on one fine day, they just walk in the show flat and see something which they think they like, or they are convinced that they like, right? And they just book the unit there, right? So such process usually do not have a very robust kind of thought process. That it is more like buying based on emotion, right? So these are the 4 most common mistakes, right, that buyers usually make when they buy new launches, right? For the detailed explanation, you can refer to my PSF Real Estate Academy Facebook page, right? Just scroll to last week. Everything is recorded there. The session where I talk about all this in detail explanation with a lot of examples, right? You can watch. It's about an hour long. That was actually last week's session, right? So coming to today, essentially the question is, right, with so many new launches in the market, right, most people can only afford to buy one property. And what is the so-called the best property? Is that the best, the best property out there that you can possibly buy, right, out of, let's say, 100 new launches today, right? So what I'm going to share with you is something very original and something very close to my heart. It is my own methodology of judging whether a new project, can I buy or can I not buy? Should I buy or should I not buy? Right? Okay. And I always like to go back to this one single word, right? And the single word is value, right? Value, right? Can I see value today if I buy a certain project, right? So I think most of you know this famous man, right? Okay, Warren Buffett. He's one of the world's most successful investor, right? And he said this very famous statement, right? And I think it makes a lot of sense, right? Price is what you pay, and value is what you get, right? A lot of people equate price. I pay a high price means the property must be good, right? But this is all part of the marketing psychology that developers build in to sell their properties, you see, right? So the thing is that you pay the price the developer wants to sell to you, right? But the question is, are you getting the kind of value which is equivalent to the price you're paying, right? So the next question is, okay, then how do I determine whether a particular new launch today I see on the market, right, is there value or not, right? To demonstrate to you, I'm going to run through a few real case studies, okay, real projects that were launched in the last few years to illustrate my point, okay? Now, I always like to start off with this as a first example, right? And in fact, this example here, right, is the first time that I tested my own hypothesis in the market, right, to see whether it is valid or not, right? What is this example? The year was 2016, okay, 2016. right, 2016. And this example is about Principal Garden, right? I'm sure some of you have already heard me mentioning Principal Garden in 2016, right? I simply like this project very much, right? Not because today the value has appreciated, that is of course part of the reason, right? But it is really because at that point in time, all the way actually from 2014, 2015, 2016, for past 3 years, for the last 3 years leading up to 2016 when Principal Garden was launched, right? I was actually studying the market in Redhill already, right? And when it was finally launched, I knew that something interesting or exciting, right, is going to happen to this project, right? Okay, and finally it is called Principal Garden, right? So what is the whole history about this? I'm going to walk you through the thought process, right, so that you really understand, okay? So this is the map of Redhill area. So at the bottom, you can see a MRT station. That's Redhill MRT station, right, okay? And in quick succession, right, 2013 to 2016, there were 4 condos that were being launched, right, in this location. Very short, very tight window time frame, right? And all the condos are like, just like next to each other, right? So the first one, one of them is the Crest, right? You can see the red circle. The other one is Alex Residences, right? Then the other one is Mont Jervois, right? And the last one is the Principal Garden, right? So if you look at in terms of location, right, you notice that Alex is the closest to Redhill MRT, right? Alex, right? And then followed by the Crest, and then Mont Jervois and Principal Garden, they are further away, right at the corner, right? So what happened was that we all know that June 2013, right, government implemented the total debt servicing ratio, right? And the thing is that, interestingly, this plot of land that was Principal Garden, right, was launched under the government land sales, right, later part of that year, December 2013. So you can see all these are actual newspaper articles, right? I didn't, go and go Google today and on high side go and, just pump something here. No, I didn't do that, right? Okay. So as I want to show you that I have been reading the market as early as, 3 years before Principal Garden was launched, that piece of land, right? Okay. That I actually cut out this newspaper, I scan it, and I put it as part of my material, right? So you can see December 2013, okay, Redhill plot will send crucial signal to the market. So what is the crucial signal? It's because this is the first piece of land that was that was launched, right, after the government, right, implemented the TDSR. So essentially, what they're trying to say is that they want to see whether developers are more cautious in terms of bidding the land, right, right. So you can see in that small little box, the diagram, right, they show you, right, the 4 projects which I mentioned. The Crest, how much was the land cost? Alex, how much was the land cost? 970, right? And then the Mont Jervois was 881. And then the Prince Charles Crescent Parcel B, this is where Principal Garden is today, right? So December 2013, right, that piece of land, right, the red color, right, okay, went on tender, right, for bidding. So 1st of March 2014, right, so Prince Charles Crescent site up for tender. Again, these are real actual newspaper cuttings that I cut out during those, during like 6 years ago, right? So this is the one that was launched, right? Okay, that was went up for bidding 2014 March, and then finally the results came out, okay, April 2014, and what happened was that the final price for the land, right, was lower than expectation, right? So what is the actual price that UOL, okay, this developer UOL successfully bidded the piece of land? 821, right, PSF, right? So that is the actual price, right, actual cost that UOL paid for the land, 821 PSF, right? So when I saw this 821 PSF in 2014, right, I knew something may potentially happen, right? Okay. So I show you this table here, with the 4 projects. You can see the information here, right? I looked at the land cost for the 4 projects here, right? You can see that Principal Garden, the one that is highlighted in yellow, right, is the cheapest in terms of land cost, right? And we all know that, land is the essential material that developer has to have before they can build the condo and then finally sell to you. So essentially, there are three big components in the price of the condo that they are selling to you, right? Number one is the land cost, number two is the construction cost, and number three is the profit margin, right? So you can see Principal Garden here. The land cost was only 821. Now, 821, is it significantly lower than the other three projects? If you compare to the Crest and Alex, obviously it is about $150 lower, right? So it's not too bad. It is quite significant actually. But compared to Mont Jervois, maybe only $50, right? So, but the thing is, I saw this interesting thing that Principal Garden was actually, I would say, it is not too negligible, but it's also not too significant, but a good margin, right? Lower than the rest of the three projects. So what was my thinking? You see, the launch date, look at the launch date, right? Alex and Mont Jervois were launched in 2013, right? Okay. At the average price for Alex is about 1,700, right? Mont Jervois is about 2,200, right? Then the Crest was launched in 2014, right, at about 1,800, right? So when I looked at Principal Garden, I was expecting what kind of price potentially it may be able to launch, right? So 2015 the land was 2014 the land was sold. 2015 they launched this, right? Okay, and then when I saw the price, they were selling their like one bedroom unit for only 1,600 PSF, right? I told myself this one actually the margin is the potential is very high and it is actually very safe. Why? Because I am buying into a Red Hill new project, right? Okay, at only 1,600 PSF, right? Whereas all my three other neighbors, three other projects, they are buying at least 17, 1,800, right? So in future, if I want to sell at let's say 18 or 1,900, I think I'm able to do so. But my neighbors cannot do so in other projects because that is the entry price today, right? So it's based on this observation. Then I went out. Actually, I went out to test on other projects in the market, right? Based on this first example, which I saw, right, in Principal Garden, right? What I share with you tonight, right? Everything actually is very original, right? Okay. To be very honest with you, I didn't, hear from other people, learn from other people, whatever. Of course, I think that, it's good to hear from other people, but I like to be original because everything is internalized in my thought process. If I see something I want to test, I can go and test, right? And I will see maybe a few years later whether that is valid or not. If it's not valid, then I go back and reflect. Okay, is there something which I missed out, right? That I didn't realize, or what was the thing that may have changed the thing, right? Right. Okay. So this was the first example in 2016, Principal Garden, that I saw that this property, Principal Garden, has value. This is what I mean by value, right? Value means that I must be able to buy a project in a certain location, which I feel very confident that the price, right, the price can appreciate quite substantially in the next few years. This is what I mean by value, right?
Okay, Colin, thank you. I think this is exactly what Colin has been sharing with many of his students since then, 2015, 2016. So I remember hearing from some of his students actually mentioning about Principal Garden. In fact, I think one or two, or maybe even a few, have actually invested in this, and today they are sitting on a very tidy profit. Now, no need to say how much is it, but easily 100 plus 200,000. It is very possible. Colin,
Yeah.
are you able to share another example so that I guess people who are watching the live today, people who don't know you, they have never attended any of your training before, they can actually appreciate more of what you're saying. Are you able to give another example?
Sure, sure. I'm just looking at my phone while we're talking, right? I see more people joining us. Tina Fong, thank you very much. Irene Tan, Kian Seng, thank you very much. Muhammad Fairuzi, my student. Most of these are actually my students. Linda as well, right? Okay. So the thing is, yes, tonight I have prepared quite a few examples, right? Okay. And all these are historic. Some of these are historical examples because I want to let you see, right? Okay, the thought process where I put into selecting a project. Some of them, of course, I don't know the results yet, right? For example, 2016 Principal Garden, today we can see in the resale market is sitting about 1,900 already, right? So in fact, one of my students bought this Principal Garden one bedroom at about 1631 PSF. So easily today, if you sell, it's about 1900, you make about 150,000, right? Okay. So, but again, this happened in 2016, right? And today is 2020. So the question, I think, the burning question is that most of you will wonder, okay, closer to where we are today, are there more examples? Okay, right? Yes, I prepared for you, right? So fast forward to maybe about 2018, right? 2018 also something very interesting happened, right? Which I saw a lot of potential, right? But the thing is that, of course, 2018 is only 2 years ago. So we don't expect to see any resale transaction in the market today for the projects I'm going to share with you in a short while, right? Okay. But I'm very confident that, 2018, when I saw this example, right, I feel that, definitely 200, $250, 200 to 250 PSF increment in the price, that entry price today is not an issue, should not be an issue in the next maybe about 3 to 4 years, right? So what is this location? Okay, this location is in Potong Pasir, right? Potong Pasir. So if you know Potong Pasir, so this is the map here. I want to show you the properties first, right? So Potong Pasir currently today, they are still selling. The 3 projects are still selling, right? Park Colonial, right? Travel, and of course, Woodley Residences, right? So these 3 projects are still selling. You can go and buy if you want, right? So what is so interesting, that something that happened in 2018 that I really like what I saw, right? Is that just to give you a bit of a historical perspective, right? Okay. Now, Park Colonial was actually a government land sales, right? Okay, government land sales, and Chip Eng Seng bought this piece of land at a price of about 1110 PSF, right? So this happened in July 2018, right? And then Trevor was actually the en bloc of the former Raintree Garden, right? It's a HUDC. So it privatized and it went en bloc, right? Sold to UOL, and UOL bought Trevor for only 755 PSF, right? So again, the time difference is just 1 month, right? August 2018, this took place, right? Okay. And Woodley Residences was actually also a government land sales on that piece of integrated development. So SPH and Kajima bought this also through the government land sales, right? Okay, and this was launched in the date here 2018 is the launch date, not the actual land sales, right? This is the launch date, right? So my mistake here. This is the launch date, right? So actual land sales will actually took place in 2017, right? So anyway, back to Woodley, right? Woodley. So SPH and Kajima bought this piece of land, right, where Woodley Residences is going to be, right, at about 1181 PSF, right. So they launched this in November, right. So what you can see here is very clearly, right, I got 3 projects here in the same location, launched almost the same time, right, within 6 months of each other, right. 3 projects in the same location, launched almost at the same time, right. And what am I looking out for here? Is there a project which is significantly cheaper in land cost, right, than the rest? And I see this in Trevor, right? Right? I still don't know how UOL can unblock Raintree Gardens at only 755 PSF. That is actually very low, honestly. During the unblock fever, 2017, 2018, that is actually very low price, right? I think it's very low, right? This is actually the government land sale kind of price already. Like Hoy's Residences was sold at about 700 plus, right, PSF, in I think 2015, right, 2014 or 2015, right, okay. So it is quite, it is really a mystery sometimes, how developers can get certain pieces of land at a very cheap price, right? But anyway, that is besides the point, right? My point here is that I see Travel, the land cost as significantly cheaper than the other 2 projects, right? Okay. So what is the thing that I was looking for, right? Of course, developer buy a piece of land at a cheap price doesn't mean that they will sell to you cheap also, right? If today Trevor is also selling for the same price as the other 2 projects, then there's nothing we can complain about, right? But I'm waiting for the launch of Trevor during that time to see how much are you going to sell me. Since I know that you have got a cost savings in terms of the land, you bought the land at a cheaper price already. Are you going to transfer this cost saving to me as a consumer or to you as a buyer? That is the thing I'm waiting to see, right, when the project is going to be launched, right? So finally, when it was launched, all right, okay, finally when it was launched, right, I can maybe just pull up this flip chart here. So maybe I can just write down for you, right? So you can see that, okay, right here, you can see, right, Park Colonial, right? Park Colonial, right? Can you see Colingo? Can see or not?
I'm going to unshare your slide so that it's easier
Okay.
for you.
Okay, can. Okay, so Park Colonial, Park Colonial, you see today, okay, we talk about the kind of price that they were selling, right? Talk about the kind of price first. 17 to 18, right? So this is Park Colonial price, right? So Travel, right? Travel, what's the kind of price? 14 to 15, right? And Woodley, right? Woodley, what's the kind of price? 19 to 2,000, around there and above, right? So you can see the price range. And obviously, I like what I saw. What I saw was that this was significantly cheaper than the other two. So this is very important to me because, yes, UOL bought a piece of land cheaper, right? But whether they want to pass on the savings to you when they finally launch the project, right, you have no control, right? If today or if during the time 2018 when UOL launched Travel, they want to sell at 1800 PSF, what can you say? You cannot complain because all the projects they're all selling 1800 PSF. So if you don't like it, you don't buy lah. Right, simple as that. But they are generous to, in my mind, they are generous enough to pass on the cost savings to you. Right? Yes, they bought the land cheaper, 750 only, compared to the other two 1001. Right? But they are willing to pass on the savings to you by selling you at a very decent price, 14 to 1500. Right? Okay. So this is something which I really like a lot. Right? And if we look at the total sales today, we see something very interesting also, right? Like Park Colonial, right? It has sold 723 units out of 805 units. So this is 90% sold, right? Or maybe I just give you the percentage. Travel is 94%, right? Woodley is 30%, right? This is the latest number, the units sold in that property, right? And I see something. I can see something. I know why people are buying each type of property, right? I can see something. What is the thing I see? For those people, okay, what is the worst selling project here? Worst selling project, Woodley lah, 30%, right? Why Woodley is the slower selling is because the price is the highest, right? Okay, they try to ride on this integrated development sort of hype, right? And then they price it quite expensive, right? Even more expensive than Park Colonial, even though the land cost is the same, right? That's why they are actually suffering a bit now, right? 30% only, right? So if you think about it, why Travel 94% of the people, 94% of the units all sold already, right? People who bought Travel, right, are people like myself, like to see value proposition. We like to see value, right? People like myself, that's why 94% sold, right? Then Park Colonial, why still can get 90% sold? You know what they're thinking, Park Colonial people, right? They're thinking, I want the convenience of staying very close to an MRT and a shopping mall. But I don't want to pay this kind of price. So what do? I buy another new launch just across the road. And it's like $200 cheaper. Doesn't matter, I cross the road only, right? It's not as if like you walk 10 minutes, right? Okay? It's okay. So that's why Park Colonial, there's this unique selling point because Park Colonial and Woodley are just side by side only, right? But of course, this one has the prestigious title of sitting on really on top of that shopping mall. This one, you still need to cross the road. But people don't care. They cross the road, it's not going to kill them, right? But they can get $200 cost savings, That is why this one, for people who want convenience, right, but don't want to pay a sky-high price, that is why this one also can sell, even at this kind of price, right? But for me, honestly, if I'm an investor, right, I don't care. I'll just buy Travel already. End of story, right? Because why? Because today, if I buy Travel at 1500 PSF, I buy Travel at 1500 PSF today, right? Or maybe not today, Today a bit tough, Today all the units all mostly sold already, I maybe buy 1 year ago, 1500 PSF, right? Okay. If next time, let's say maybe about 3 years later, TOP, and then maybe there's some resale transaction, right? Okay. How much do you think I can sell my Travel for, right? I would say easily, 17 something should not be an issue. Should not be an issue. Why? Because this is already the entry price of these two people today already. These two projects today already, right? Then your counter argument may be, Travel, the location not very good. You look at my map. Calling go, you can unshare this thing. Yeah, I share this thing.
Yeah, I mean, you need to share back to your slides.
My slides lah, yeah. So if you look at the location, how do I go back there? Is it full screen, is it?
Just share screen. Just share.
You can see my slides now?
Okay.
That's my PowerPoint slides.
No, you haven't shared your slides. You need to reshare your slides.
Reshare my slide. Oh, okay, reshare my slide. Sorry, I mean, this kind of technology thing sometimes. So, okay. Just give me a while, I can share my slides again. Let's go back to my slides. I'll go back to my slide. Okay. Okay, so you can see my slides?
Yep.
I just need to blow up. Okay, I need to blow up. Okay, blow up. Okay, go to where? Where is the thing? Okay, this thing here. Right, okay, show you the map. Show the map. Okay, now I push this thing away. Right, okay, let me come back to the center. So you see, travel is the one at the side, right? So if you look at the Woodleigh MRT is that little thing on top, right? So you can see that, of course, Park Colonial and Woodleigh Residences, their location are fantastic, right? They are just next to the MRT station, right? But to me, it's like, I've proven already from the Principal Garden example. I just show you back to Principal Garden, right? You see, this is the Red Hill map, right? Principal Garden is like, one of the furthest away from the MRT station. But does it really matter? I don't think so. Because it is still in the Red Hill area. And today is like, if 4 years ago I bought at 1600 PSF for Principal Garden, right? I'm sure today I can sell at 1900, which is what is happening already. It doesn't mean that Alex today, right? Those people who bought Alex at 1800 PSF back then, right? Today they want to sell for 2001, 2002, right? Okay. Even though they are nearer to MRT station, but also it is also quite challenging for them to sell at that kind of price, right? So to me, actually, distance from MRT station, I don't think is a very big factor, provided the property itself has got a lot of value proposition, like, for example, Principal Garden or travel, right? So travel is something which I really like, right? In terms of the kind of potential it can give me. But of course, today, whatever I said is just based on the observation in the past, right? It has not TOP, right? There's no resale transaction. In the future, next 3 to 5 years, how is this property going to do, right? I do not know, right? But I can see something, right? That even for Poise Residences, right, it was launched about, I think, 2015 at about, how much? 1300, is it 13 or 1400 PSF Today the resale transaction, some of them are already sold in the resale market, right? Okay, they are selling for about 15 to 1600 already, right? For Poise, right? So if I think of it logically, right, that today I buy a new launch the same location, right? Okay, I pay 1500 PSF, right? My Poise is already a resale property because it's already a few years before me, right? Okay, it's even selling for higher price than me. Yes, something is wrong. I think something is wrong, right? It cannot be, it shouldn't be that, a resale should be more expensive than a new one. Usually the new one is always the most expensive one in a certain location, right? That's why you look at Woodleigh and Park Colonial, you see this characteristic, right? So this is the second example where around 2017, 2018, I saw this, project travel. I really like it very much, right? So this is second example.
Okay, so Colin, you have shared 2016 one example, 2018 this example right now. Now some of us might be wondering, what happens if we are talking about a project that is closer, in terms of timeline to today? Can you give another example that is a little bit more updated?
Yeah, sure. So this example, Potong Pasir example is a bit, of course, it's about 2 years old, right? 2 years old. I share with you one that happened last year, 2019, right? 2019. Okay, this is the Potong Pasir example. 2019, this thing happened, right? Again, very similar story to Principal Garden and Potong Pasir, right? Okay, very similar story. 2019, Tanjong Pagar, right? It is still selling now. There are 3 projects there, right? Sky Everton, One Pearl Bank Avenue South. They are still selling now, right? So the location, this one is Sky Everton, right? Not exactly near to any MRT, right? Then One Pearl Bank is the one up there. Of course, it is quite near to the Outram MRT. And you have got the last one, which is Avenue South, also not very near to MRT, right? So these 3 locations, right? These 3 locations. Okay. So what is the history, right? The history of this 3 plot of land, right? So Sky Everton was actually the en bloc of the former Asia Garden, right? Okay, by Sustain Land. So Sustain Land bought this piece of land sometime in I think 2018, right? Okay, at about 1565 PSF, right? Okay. So Sky Everton was launched about a year ago, June 2019, right? Okay, then One Pearl Bank was by Capital Land. They unblocked the former round building, right, on top of the hill, right, Outram Park, right. So they unblocked that building for almost about the same land cost, about 15 PSF, right, okay. And they launched it 1 month later, that's Sky Everton, July 2019. And then finally, Avenue South, right, UOL bought that piece of land through the government land sales, right? And actually, interestingly, when UOL went in to buy that piece of land, they were only bidder. So whatever value they pay, they just basically got the land as long as it is above the reserve price, right? So usually they never see this kind of thing happening, right? Government land sales, usually at least there are 3 to 5 bidders, at least, sometimes even 10, more than 10 bidders, right? But strangely, when this piece of land was put onto the market for sale by the government, UOL went in, right, and was the only bidder. So they bought this piece of land at only about 1100 PSF, right? So they launched Avenue South in September 2019, right? So when the first 2 were launched, Sky Everton and One Pearl Bank were launched last year, right? Before September last year, before Avenue South was going to launch, right? Okay, I expecting Avenue South will be a star player already. I already expected already. Why? Because if I look at the land cost, easily it is $400 cheaper than the other 2, right? You tell me not close to MRT, very far and all those things, honestly, I don't really buy the reason now, right? Okay, because in Singapore, if you cannot take MRT, you still can take bus lah. If you cannot take bus, you still can take Grab lah, or whatever, those kind of car sharing things. So honestly, location to me is not a very big factor as long as I can see value, right? So the thing is, before Avenue South was launched, right, I already know that UOL bought a piece of land at $400 cheaper than the other 2 competitors, right? So I was just waiting for September to come, right? So first week of September, they launched for sale, right? And when I saw, right, they were selling for 1800 PSF, I can tell you, you can't go wrong. You really cannot go wrong, right? So maybe again, right, I can write this thing on the board here, right? Maybe Colin Go, you can help me. This is the last time I'm going to do this, right?
Okay. Let me just share it first.
Yeah. So okay, yeah, you can see it now, right? So just same thing, right? I'm going to write it here, right? Write it here. Okay, so you have got this Sky Everton, right? Sky Everton. How much are they selling? Right, about 24 to 26, right? Okay, but this is freehold. This is freehold, right? This is freehold, right? And then you got One Pearl Bank, One Pearl Bank is selling about 23 to 25, right? These are the launch price, not the price now, but the launch price. That means last year, about a year ago, right? So you got Avenue South, right? Okay, it's about 18 to about 2000, right? So again, similar story, right? Okay, what do I see here? Avenue South is the cheapest, right? Easily by $300 to $400 per square foot, right? And I know why. The reason is that it is the cheapest, because the land cost was like $400 cheaper than the other 2 competitors. So again, the developer is not being greedy, right, and want to sapu everything. If they bought a piece of land, Avenue South, UOL bought a piece of land cheaper, 1100, they can still sell you at 23 or 24, and people will still buy. I can tell you, will still buy, right? People will still buy. But this is a greedy developer because they want to make more profit for themselves. Their land cost very low, but they want to sell you high, right? But these 2 guys are no choice, right? No choice. The land cost already higher already, right? Then of course it's have to sell you at 2425 for one, because this one the land cost already 1,500 already, right? But this guy has the flexibility, right, to sell higher, to make more money, but they are being generous to pass we all the savings, you see, right? So when I saw this, right, I was like, wow, this kind of price, you go into Tanjong Pagar area, how to go wrong? Honestly, how to go wrong? I don't think you can go wrong, right? Okay, because already this kind of price you are seeing this kind of price where Sengkang Grand Sengkang already Sengkang Grand this kind of price, Potong Pasir this kind of price, Park Esta this kind of price, right? Antares this kind of price, right? Even Cambridge Hill Residences this kind of price. You tell me Tanjong Pagar right in District 1, District 2, right? Okay, how can the rental be lower than all these outside players? Cannot be one, right? So if today is September, October, right, 2019, I can tell you, no need to think. Close one eye, go and buy Avenue South, one bedroom, easily you make 200,000 already, right? Really, I can tell you, right? Okay, why? Because today or last year you buy at 1800 PSF, right? Next time, how much you want to sell? You must think of the selling price, you see, right? Can I sell at maybe I sell at maybe a 2-1 something PSF next time? Maybe 3 to 4 years later, I sell this price cannot. $300 PSF increase. My one bedroom maybe about 500 square feet 500 square feet times 300, how much? 150,000, right? You want to be greedy a bit, sell higher, maybe still can. Why? Because if you want to sell higher, right, nobody can fight you one. Why nobody can fight you? Because these two wow, it's like sweat, I tell you. They enter at 2.3 to 2.4 you sell few years later, sell even at 2.2 you're still lower than them. How to make money? They sell at loss, you know. They have to sell at 2.6, 2.7, right? Then which property appears more more attractive to the future buyer? Right? Obviously yours, right? Correct, right? So the thing is, wow, this one is so I see already. I tell you, I cannot believe that, you know, at this kind of price for Tanjong Pagar, to be honest. So if your next question is, wow, it's so good, right? Today can still buy Avenue South or not? Actually, very sensitive for me to say this, right? Okay, but my honest opinion is, sorry, right? You already missed the boat already. You already missed the boat already. The ship already sailed already, right? Left the harbor already. You are stranded on the, you know, on land already. You didn't go the ship, you know, you didn't board the ship at that point in time, right? Today, if today is September, October, November, as long as today is still 2019, you can buy Avenue South. I can tell you almost voucher, right? Almost voucher. Sure make money one, right? But today, what is the problem? The problem is that all the cheap units, low floor units, all bought by people who like to see value already, right? So only left what? Only left the 20-something story and above. And what kind of price are you buying? This price here, 20 something price, and entry price right? Okay. And I don't like this. I don't like this. I rather look for something else already. Why I don't like this? Because I compare to my downstairs neighbor. Wow, they bought at 1800, you know, 1 year ago. I buy at, you know, same stack. I just hire 20 stories only right? I buy at what, 2000 plus PSF, right? I don't like it because honestly, for investment, even a 8th floor unit, no need to buy 40 story unit, still can make a lot of money, right? So why should I go in now? Because all the good units are gone already. So Avenue South now, honestly, it's not a lousy project, but it's just that the time has passed already. That I think there are more attractive projects out there in the market that you can look at, right? Okay. So in terms of again the sales statistics, right? If you look at Sky Everton, 80% sold, right? If you look at One Pearl Bank, 35% sold. Avenue South is about 45% sold, right? So do you see some kind of interesting buyer kind of behavior here, right? Okay. Now, why Sky Everton can sell 80%? Okay, to start off, Sky Everton don't have a lot of units, only 260 units only, 260 units, right? So today they sold about 210 units already, so that's 80%. Now, what are the people buying Sky Everton? People who are buying Sky Everton because they just want to buy something freehold in a good district. This is the mentality. You must understand, this is the mentality, right? So they don't care. Of these 3 projects that is launched, only Sky Everton is freehold. So that's why they just buy Sky Everton. And again, these kind of people have also one mentality. When they see that Sky Everton freehold, you are buying freehold at leasehold price, which is the leasehold. One Pearl Bank is the leasehold. So it makes Sky Everton stand out, you see. Because Sky Everton is not selling at 3,000 PSF. Right? 3,000 PSF, of course, I'm paying so much more for freehold, should I still pay? But then they'll think maybe no, I can buy One Pearl Bank. But the thing is, Sky Everton and One Pearl Bank, the pricing actually is very, very close. So people don't mind, yeah, same location, I pay $100 more, I get a freehold, then I go and buy Sky Everton. That's why One Pearl Bank, right, the sale is not very good because it is lost in the value proposition. Don't know what is the unique selling point already, right? Sky Everton is the freehold angle, right? Avenue South is the value proposition that people can see this value they buy today. That's why you still have a 45%. But One Pearl Bank is like neither here nor there. Is it freehold? No, it's not freehold. Is it the cheapest? No, it's not the cheapest. What is the selling point? I also don't know what's the selling point, right? The main selling point is probably the iconic round building, right? Which, is it useful? Maybe not very useful. Or maybe the most useful thing is near to MRT. That's the only thing they can harp upon. So if I ask you, if really near to MRT, people really think, wow, can make money, then why the sale only 35%? You think about this, right? So from the buying pattern of people, how people buy condos, you can actually learn something, right? Learn something. And this is something which you do not see. Actually, you do not see. You hardly see this, right? Okay. Unless you have got access to all this information, you can like look at it, study, analyze it. Then you can observe something, right? Okay. Let me just go back to my slides.
Yeah.
Right,
So
okay.
Colin, while Colin is going
Yeah.
back to his slide, I think he has shared three sets of projects right now, and I think in terms of the number one most important factor, it is the word called value. So I don't know, Colin, do you have another way of finding value? That you think is worth sharing. One more thing,
Okay.
by the way, we are about 45-50 minutes in already. So that means, wow, okay, suddenly time passed so fast. So, yeah.
So, for example, talk until like 45 minutes already.
Correct.
Anyway, this is the slide that you see just now, right? Okay, and then just to continue, right? You can see that these are the actual transactions, right? That was sold. The units that was sold, right? On the top table is Avenue South, right? Avenue South, you see September last year, how much were they selling? 1,800 plus, right? One Pearl Bank, when they were launched in July 2019. How much were they selling? About 223 to 24, right? So these are the actual samples of the transaction that took place, right, during the launch period, right? And again, I contrast Avenue South with a few existing resale properties around the Tanjong Pagar area, right? Namely the Spottiswoode area, right? Spottiswoode Suites, Spottiswoode 18, Spottiswoode Residences, right? So the thing is that these three resale properties are about 10 years old, right? And what is the kind of price today, right? You look at the kind of price today, right? They are doing around 2,000, 2,000. Lowest is about 1,900. Highest is about 22 to 23, right? So it's quite consistent, the price, right? So the thing is, a 10-year-old resale project, never mind if it's freehold, doesn't matter, right? Okay, right? I'm buying a new launch today in a very similar area, right? And I'm paying only 1,800. Okay, I'm even cheaper than existing resale property in that area, right? Okay, so the thing is, when I see this again, it gives me a lot of confidence that if last year, September last year, you had bought Avenue South, right, at 1,800 PSF, easily, I think in the next 4 to 5 years, you should be able to sell at about 221 at least, 2122, right? And you make like at least 150 to 200,000 already, right? Okay. This is my last example. It is not really a real case study today, right? Okay, but I want to show you a variation in terms of how I decide on the new launches, because the last three examples, if you realize, right? Okay, the Principal Garden, the Travel, and the Avenue South, right? What is the common thing that run through that three projects there, right? Okay, is that there were similar new launches being launched in the same location at almost the same time, right? So it makes comparison very easy, right? If you have got similar new launches being launched in the same location, right, at the same time, right, and if there's one that is significantly cheaper than the other, I think it is a very safe bet, right, to go for the cheapest one. Okay, right? That is a general statement, right? So what we saw in Clementi, right? Clementi is a bit of a different story, right? Clementi, okay, the history of Clementi is that in the last 10 years, the first condo that was launched was Triling, right? Triling was by this Malaysian developer, right? They bought a piece of land 2012, right? And actually back then, of course, the land price was cheap, only about 550 PSF, right? So the developer launched trialing around 2013, 2014, right? And how much were they selling? They were being, I think, a bit greedy. They were trying to sell for about 1,006, 1,005, 1,006 PSF. So what happened was that trialing the sales was very slow. All the way until 2017, when it was going to be TOP, right? It was still like, still some unsold units. Selling for 4-5 years, still cannot finish selling, right? So what's the reason? It's because buyers cannot accept paying 1,006 for Clementi, right? During the last few years. That's why there's this resistance, right? So when trialing was trying to sell at, 1,006, right? Around 2014, 15, 16, right? Okay, the sales were very slow. Then what happened? Then Clement Canopy came along. Right? So the land was bought by UOL sometime in 2016, and they paid also a very cheap price, $615, and they started selling Clement Canopy in early 2017. At what price? 1,300 plus, right? 1,300 plus, right? So today Clement Canopy already TOP. In fact, I got one student who bought Clement Canopy, right? Okay, she's staying there now, and we don't talk about the resale market yet, okay, right? So anyway, Clement Canopy was launched in 2017, early 2017, at about 1,300 PSF, right? Then what happened after Clement Canopy was actually later part of 2017, right? Park West went on block, okay? Park West went on block, right? So Singhai bought Park West for land cost of 850, so it's a bit higher, 850. So today, Park Clementi's, how much are they selling, right? They're selling for about 1,005 PSF, 1,005, right? So 1,005 PSF, Park Clementi's today, okay, right? So what are we seeing here is that Clementi is a slightly different example from the Principal Garden, from the Trevor, from the Tanjong Pagar, is that, yes, I also have got new launches being launched, right, in the same area, but the difference is over a few years. It's not like within 6 months. So in this kind of situation, it makes comparison very tricky already, right? This is a judgment call, right? Judgment call meaning to say that in 2017, do I think I can invest in Clement Canopy? That is a judgment call. Because in 2017, there were no other launches in Clementi, only Clement Canopy. So if you think that you can buy, in 2017, buy Clementi at 1,300 PSF, and 3 to 5 years later, you can sell for 1,600, right? Then okay, make money, right? It's the same thing today, right? Today, 2020, right? If you think that you can buy a certain location at a certain price and future make money, right? Okay, then you go in. But that is a judgment call, right? But the 3 examples I gave you, like Tanjong Pagar, right, and Potong Pasir, those are very clear cut because of the fact that new launches launch, same location. Important thing is same period of time. So over here, these 3 projects were launched staggered over 4 to 5 years, right? So the question is, so 2017 can invest in Park Clementi, 2017 can invest in Clement Canopy or not, right? It is a judgment call, right? But I think Clementi was a bit lucky, right, in the fact that Park Clementi's came along, right? If Park West didn't go on block, right, and today you have got Clairvaughn is coming up already, right? Clairvaughn is coming up, right? So the thing is, Clairvaughn is coming up. So some people ask me, so Clairvaughn can buy or not, right? I give you a very real example, I need one real example, I give you a real example, right? Clairvaughn, okay, so Clairvaughn, you know how to spell Clairvaughn? Right, I just no need to share the screen, I just write here, you can see, right? You can see or not? Right here, Clavon, Clairvaughn, right? Okay. So Clairvaughn, what's the land cost? 730. Is it 730? Well, is it so much information? I also cannot remember. Around there, I think around there, cannot remember, right? Okay. Anyway, should be about 700 plus, right? Okay. So the thing is, or 800 plus, I cannot remember, right? Anyway, today, if you ask me Clairvaughn can buy or not, right? I said I cannot see value, I tell you very outright, very upfront, cannot see value, right? Okay. But before I go into Clairvaughn, let me talk a bit. Let me finish off Park Clementi, Clement Canopy first, right? So Clement Canopy 2017 came onto the market, 1,003 PSF, right? Okay, right. There's no other projects to benchmark, right? It becomes a judgment call whether you can invest or not, right? But I think fortunately, later that year, Park West went on block and the land cost was higher, and Park Clementi's was launched at about 1,005 PSF. It helped to push up the expectation, right? The today's selling price for Clement Canopy, such that, right, you see today on this screen here, right, okay, 3 transactions were done at Clement Canopy, right? This is, should be this, I cannot see the date, but anyway, should be this year, right, in the last 6 months, right? So you can see 3 units were sold in the resale market at Clement Canopy, right? You want to know how much these people make, how much profit they make? I'm going to show you, and you're going to get a shock, right, okay? The first unit, 0408. These are the actual transactions. So this person bought in March 2017 at 1205 PSF, right? April this year, he sold for what? 1472 PSF. He made 350,000. 350,000, mind you, in just less than 4 years, right? Okay. Now, what about the second unit, 04010? 04010, you see this person bought also during the launch, February 2017, right? Okay. At 1.408 million. Then today they sold at about 1.63 million. He made 220,000, right? And the last unit, right, 1912. This person bought in July 2017, right, okay, and then sold December last year and made how much? 180,000. These are the 3 actual example for Clement Canopy I'm showing you, right? So why am I showing you this thing? Is to show you 2 things, right? Number 1 is that, yes, new launches really can make you this kind of money, right? If you still do not believe, right, that what I said the last 3 to 4 weeks about, the whole thing is about undervalued property, finding value in property. We don't care whether it's, honestly, I don't care whether it's undervalued or market value, right? As long as I buy a property, I know it can appreciate, good enough already. You want to buy undervalued property, also same thing, what? Today, $1 million property, you buy 800,000. You also undervalue 200,000, right? Versus I buy today $1 million. If I know that it's going to give me this kind of appreciation, 300,000, right? I'm okay to wait 3 to 4 years. Same thing also, right? So the thing is, yes, it is possible to find this kind of properties in the market, right? Even today, is possible, right? So that's the first thing. 300,000 is not, it's not surprising. There are, but you have to select the right project. That's very important. You cannot select any project which, in my opinion, I don't see value. Then honestly, I don't know whether it can make that kind of money or not already, right? Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing is back to the Park West relationship to this whole Clement Canopy is that I think fortunately, timing issue. 2017, right, Park West came, the en bloc came, and then Park Clementi's was launched, right, in the last 1 year, right, and it helped to set the expectation for Clementi, right, such that today, anybody buying Clementi property, whether it's a new or resale, they are prepared to pay at least 1,000, 4,500 already. Clementi condo no longer can go back to the days of 1,000, 1,002 already. No longer already. This is the truth of property market. So for all of you who are still waiting there doing nothing, okay, and if you can afford a property, honestly, I personally feel that you should really go and buy something, right? Because time is money, honestly. If you are trying to wait for this COVID thing, a lot of people, wait for this, wait and see, and wait for the price to drop. Maybe the price will drop 6 months later, 9 months later. I tell you, you have been waiting for how long already? I always tell my students, right, okay, you wait. From 2015, you went through my program, wait until today, 5 years already, right? People already make 300,000 and you're still sitting there waiting. Waiting for what? You wait, only the price go up, right? You buy at a later price, right? Higher price. And of course, your age also, becomes a problem because your loan is shorter, right? So I think Clement Canopy is a bit of a different example, right, from the previous 3 case study I showed you, where judgment actually is required to exercise. Back in 2017, can I buy Clementi at 1,300, right? If there was no Park West, then I think can still happen. This kind of transaction can still happen, but it becomes a bit more unclear. That's what I'm trying to say, unclear, right? So today, if Clairvon is coming up, right? Clairvon, if I'm the developer, who is the developer for Clairvon? Do you all know? Do you all know? Anybody know or not? Type here, then I can see. Nobody know. Nobody know. You all never study the property market. Always listen to people, newspaper, property agent, or whoever tell you, right? You never study, then how you want to make money, right? I tell you also, you must believe, correct? So Clairvon, developer, also UOL, right? Strangely, I tell you, UOL always give very good value buy, I don't know why. Avenue South also UOL. Travel also UOL. Principal Garden also UOL. I got another one, the fourth one, right? Also UOL. I don't want to say which one. Right? You want to know it, let me know. Right. So anyway, right? Anyway, Clairvon, okay, Clairvon. So Clairvon, if you are UOL, you want to launch Clairvon, let's say 3 months down the road, how much do you want to launch? Obviously, that's very important because if I go to buy Clairvon, I want to know how much you're going to launch right now. But we know the land price is about, I think, 700 plus PSF, right, about there. I cannot remember, honestly, I cannot remember. Right, okay, I'm sorry, right. I need to refer to my notes. So, how much do you think Clairvon will launch? You know, Clairvon, the piece of land, is just next to Park Clement. Clairvon, the piece of land, is just next to Clement Canopy. Obviously, UOL will look at it today. How much is Clement Canopy doing? Oh, resale market 1,004 PSF, right? So do you think Clairvon will launch below 1,004? If Clairvon launch below 1,004, I tell you, straight away, no need to come and straight away go and buy already. Go and buy already, right? Buy 2 units also can. You won't die one, right? But there's no such possibility already, no such market already. Clairvon will definitely launch above 1,004, above the resale price for this Clement Canopy, right? How much? Maybe 1.5 to 1.6. That's my expectation, right? Above 1.6 is a bit high, right? But they won't dare to go too high because why? Because there's a competitor over there. Who's the competitor? Park Clementi's over there. If I make myself, if I'm Clairvon, I launch at 1,008, then nobody buy my condo already, then I die, right? Everybody see what's so expensive, go and buy Park Clementi's, then go buy my condo, right? If I launch too low, a lot of people can buy, but I'm also being a bit not very smart, right? Because I can actually make more money by launching higher. People will still buy. Then why I want to be so generous, right? So what is the kind of a middle ground? I think it's from 1.5 to 1.6. So if today I buy Clairvon at 1.5 and 1.6, right? Then again I can tell you 2020 you buy Clementi at 1.5 and 1.6. What is the issue here? The issue here is that it becomes another judgment call. Right not? Same like Clement Canopy in 2017. Can you buy Clementi at 1.3? Judgment call because there's no other project. You are the most expensive already. At that point in time, apart from trialing, any trialing is not a very good example because they try to be too greedy early on, right? So if today 2020 you want to buy Clairvon, right, at how much? 15 to 1600, right? Then you are also like Park Clementi's like that, right? Become the most expensive in Clementi already. You today buy at 15, 16, 1500, 1600. In future, 3 to 5 years down the road, you want to sell at how much? 1900 to make money, correct? Then my question is, do you think Clementi can go to 1900 in the next 4 to 5 years? Of course, if you tell me, can, of course, maybe not 4 to 5 years, maybe 20 years. Don't tell me this kind of thing, 20 years. 20 years, everything changed already in Singapore, right now. My philosophy is always very simple, is that I want to spot the deals that can help you, right, create the maximum wealth in the shortest period of time with minimal risk. That is what I'm interested to do. So I don't like to hear those kind of things become a 10-year, 20-year, those kind of things. Of course, you want to go 10-year, 20-year can, but I must have the appreciation to start off with. Not waiting for 10 years for appreciation to come. Right, okay? So must be very clear on this. Right? So today, if you buy Clairvon at 1,600 PSF, right, it becomes a judgment call. Do you think Clementi can go to 1,800, 1,900 in the next, I don't know, next 3 to 5 years? Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. If you're lucky, the next 1, 2 years, another boom, another GLS, another what on blocks happen in Clementi, and developer go crazy, everybody chong in and buy the land at 2,000 PSF, then good for you. But how can you guarantee such thing will happen? Right? As I said already, Park West was an unexpected thing, right? An unexpected thing that nobody expected it to happen. So Park West become a very good linking point between the past and the present of Clementi. I can tell you that, right? The past of Clementi is basically represented by Clement Canopy, 1,300, the cheap old days, right? So today, the new Clementi is already about 15 to 1,600 already. But even resale, you want to buy Clement Canopy, 1,400, 14 to 1,500, you cannot run away, right? So this is basically, the Clementi example is a bit different. The only difference is that it is a more challenging, right, to go into this kind of property, right? And today, let's talk about today. Forget about Clementi, right? Talk about today. Today, right? Okay, I just okay. Talk about today. So many new launches. I think someone just now mentioned about 38 Jervois, right? 38 Jervois and all this stuff, right? Okay. Anyway, okay. Before I answer 38 Jervois, right? Okay. Let's say today so many new launches, right? I like to buy those that I can see. I can potentially see the value today, right? See the value today. Why? Because remember why I choose to see value. when I buy new launches, I want to see value first before I buy, right? It's because I want to avoid making one of the biggest mistakes. That means to buy based on future transformation, right? So actually if today you buy Clementi at 1600 PSF, you may be making this mistake here, right? Pardon me, I'm being very direct because I don't hold my words, right? Okay, you may be making this mistake because you may think that future Clementi can go to 18, 1900, right? Of course, in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, Singapore property price will definitely go up. But the question is how long is it going to happen, right? You look at Jurong East example. I shared with you last week already, right? Jurong East example, the Jurong CBD area, when it was announced in 2013, there was so much promise and hype and everything, right? Today, what happened? I think it didn't live up to expectation, not because of Singapore's fault. I think also a few reasons, right? Malaysia pulled out from HSR or delayed, and also I don't know what's happening there. The lake area also nothing happening, right? So you only have one lake view, one lake grand as a newer condos, right? And nothing else already. So the price how to go up? Very hard to go up. There's nothing else already, right? So that's why Jurong East, ironically, are stagnating at 1,005 PSF, the resale market. Even Paya Lebar, PLQ, already selling at 1,009 already. Can you believe it? Park Esta 1,008 already, right? So now it's like the East, the Paya Lebar is doing better than Jurong East. Who can expect this back in 2013? So this is the problem of buying based on future transformation, right? And a large part has to do with judgment call, right? If you make the wrong judgment call, you buy a property that is the highest price today. Like for example, today you go Clairvon, right? Clairvon tie with Park Clementi's highest, right? 1,006, both equal, right? Okay. I think it's risky, To me, I think it's risky. Not because Clairvon is a lousy project, right? Okay. I just don't want to. Why should I, get myself into this kind of risk and make this kind of mistake, right? The future inflation story or the future transformation story, right? Okay. I don't want to make this kind of mistake, right? So based on value, again, value proposition we buy, right? Again, you understand. I never talk about product features. I never say, wow, the design is very good, a lot of greenery, blah, 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 whatever. I don't care, honestly. Even the layout, I also sometimes don't care, honestly, right? So I don't bother about product feature. To me, it's very important. I want to see value. Value means S11. S11 means money, right? Okay. Discount trap, of course, if I'm so concerned about the price I'm going into, obviously I'll be very aware of whatever discount developers are giving me. Are they real discount or fake discounts, right? And the last thing is, it can also avoid you making anyhow buy kind of judgment, right? So there's no such thing as you on one Saturday, the weather very hot, very hot, you just want to go to a show flat and blow some aircon, and then you unknowingly go inside, you can put a check, right? Like one of my examples here, an earlier example, right? Okay. So if I am focused on finding value in the property that I want to buy, right, the new launch, right, okay, I can basically avoid all these mistakes, all these very common mistakes which people make, right? So, okay, coming to the big golden question, right, today, now, okay, 100 properties out there in the market, can you still buy Avenue South? I can tell you, forget it, don't buy already, because they're too late, you missed the boat already. So you see, right, a good deal come, right, if people tell you a good deal, sometimes I don't know, like they tell you 38 Jervois is a good deal, right, later I share my opinion, right, okay, so out there, a lot of people can tell you about good deal, fire sale, undervalued, blah, 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 all these kind of things, right, okay, but I hope in the last 1 hour or so, you have learned something which is really my own methodology and my own, observation and my own judgment over the past, let's say, 5 to 6 years of how I look at properties, right, how I select the new launch that I want to buy, right. So today, are there still any potential? Okay, Avenue South cannot buy. Then Travel can buy or not? Travel 93% sold. You left those like Kuching Pura, those lousy units high floor you pay so much for those very lousy kind of units Also not much choices already. Then what else? What other choices are there? Maybe you all can tell me I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't know. Right? Okay. So the thing is, I think you still can buy value today, right? And one example, I'm going to just give you a live example is let's say today what you can do is, what is you know what is the lowest entry price for new launch today? I don't care where in Singapore. The lowest entry price for a new launch condo today, right, is about 1,002 PSF, 1,002 PSF right, 1,002 PSF if today you buy a new launch condo 1,002 PSF Do you think next time, 4 to 5 years later, you can resell at 1,004 PSF? I ask you this question. Right. If you think can, then okay, you got the answer already. Go and look for those cheap condo to buy. Right, okay? That is also another strategy, I can tell you honestly. Because not always, wow, you so so nice, the Potong Pasir story appear. Wow, Tanjong Pagar story appear. Of course, those kind of story appear, I like it very much. Because means my risk very low. Right. In the same time, same location, a few launches come together, launch together, and I can spot one that is significantly cheaper. Right. Wow, I think very hard to go wrong, right? But not like that. You see, the market don't behave like that. Sometimes there's a time difference of a few years. Sometimes it's different location across Singapore. Then how you can compare, right? But if you ask yourself today, right, another play cheat strategy, this is called the play cheat strategy, right? Play cheat strategy is basically right. Today you don't care, right? You just find the cheapest one, right? But the cheapest one you buy, must make sure that again, the location must be a live one, right? What's alive or not? Alive means the value can go up. So what are those? There are a lot of places which are alive in Singapore, right? But also some places are which I think is dead in Singapore. I don't know why, right? Not because I say it's dead, it's because the market show me it's dead, right? What are the places are like Woodlands, like Marsiling, the price never go up, right? Even Pasir Ris are also very 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 strange, right? You look at like Dines and cocoa palms, all these also hardly go up, right? Maybe the lease is getting shorter because that lease started 2008, that whole big piece of land, my Hong Liao, right? Okay. Other areas I think are doing better. So I'm not saying that the cheapest you just go and buy any new launch in Singapore, right? But again, I must feel that, the thing is, if today I buy at this price, do I think in future I can sell at a higher price, $200-300 higher? So for Avenue South, Travel, all this is very clear. Today I buy at Travel at 1,500, right? I know that guy over the two condos over there already selling at 2,000 already, right? How I go wrong? Very hard for me to go wrong, 3 to 4 years later, I can sell 1,000, 7,000, 750. I think people will still buy from me, right? Compared to those people, right? Okay. So today, actually, I don't think there are many such good examples, to be honest with you, right? Besides the Tanjong Pagar and the Potong Pasir example, right? Okay. Okay. I think one of you asked Treasure, one of you asked Florence, one of you asked earlier on asked 38. Oh, thank you very much, Cleveron. Someone gave me 788 land cost. Yeah, I remember it's 700 plus land cost. Right, okay. I always confused with the one next to Sims Urban Oasis, the Penrose. Penrose I can remember very clearly, 732. Sims Urban Oasis, 688. Right. Okay, just let me finish off by answering all these questions since you asked.
Do you, Colin, do you still need the slides? If not, we can unshare.
No, I don't need the slide already. I can unshare it. Unshare it. Right, okay. Okay, let me unshare this. I stop share. Right, so you can see my big face. Right. This one behind is okay, right? Okay. Justin Tan asked about Florence, right? Okay. Florence, if you look at Serangoon area, there are 4 new launches that are concurrently going on, right? Okay. Florence, Affinity, Garden Residences, and Riverfront, right? So they are in the very same type location, right? So if you look at, again, the base thing is I look at the land cost first, because land cost will add on to everything that is above, and finally the selling price. So Florence, actually, the land cost is the second cheapest, right? It's not the most expensive one, right? Okay. It's about, I need to refer to my Excel file. Offhand, I cannot remember, right? Okay. I only know Riverfront is the cheapest one. Riverfront is the cheapest at about, I think, 700 plus. Right? Florence should be about Riverfront is 600 plus, right? Florence should be about 700 plus. Then I think Garden should be about 800 plus, right? So anyway, today Florence is selling about 1,004 PSF, right? Is it a good buy? To be honest with you, I don't think so. I cannot see value, right? Very honest with you, right? But is it a lousy buy? Also not too lousy, right? Because in terms of location, I think it's still quite okay, right? Quite okay, right? But it's just that, I got the cheapest one over there, Riverfront, right? Riverfront, 1,002 only, right? 1,002. Next time I sell at 1,004, I think still can make it. But for Florence, like if I buy today at 1,004, right? I next time to sell at 1,006, 1,007, it may be a bit more challenging. And I got 3 other condos to fight with, like 2 other condos to fight with. Affinity and these Garden Residences are also very close in terms of pricing for me, right? The most expensive one is Garden, right? Okay, so the thing is, next time you expect the people from Garden, Florence, and Affinity, next time when they want to sell their condo, how much are they selling? You're fighting with all these people, right? So why should I fight with all these people if today I want to really buy something in Hougang? I can tell you I go for Riverfront already, right? But Riverfront, again, you miss the boat already because now almost everything all gone already. 1,004 units almost like people sapu everything already in the last one over year. right? So this kind of thing sometimes you really need to act fast, right? You don't act fast, you miss the boat, lor. Like Avenue South, 1,008, how to go wrong? Honestly, cannot go wrong one. Even Sengkang Grand, 1,008, you want to buy Sengkang 1,008, might as well buy this one, right? Who cares about integrated development or not, right? I can easily close one eye, I make $300. I can tell you, no problem, $300. But Sengkang, I cannot close eye, make $300, you know. Sengkang next time I sell 2,001, I don't know who's going to buy from me, honestly, right? Unless you tell me people really, whoever is staying there already in Sengkang want to buy Sengkang lah, and they were willing to pay me 2,001. But why should I put myself to the kind of risk, right? Okay, so that is for Florence, right? Okay, I'm just sharing with you very openly my opinion. Okay, whether you agree or not is okay, doesn't matter. But this is what my judgment is lah, right? Okay, somebody asked about Rian Zhang asked about Treasures, right? Okay, yes, Treasures and Riverfront are the two properties which has the lowest entry price today, right? 1,002 plus PSF, right? Okay, and I would think that these two actually, if you buy something at 1,002 PSF, next time you can sell at 1,003, 1,004 PSF, the chance of you making money is quite high, and it's very likely, right? Like Treasures, the 3-bedroom, the smaller one, the 900 plus square feet, 3-bedroom, I think it's only 1.1 something million, right? 1.1 something million at 1,002 PSF, right? Okay. Next time you want to sell for 1,002 you buy today, you sell 1,004 PSF, 1,004 PSF means you sell about maybe about 1.3, 1.4 million, you make 200,000. I think it's good enough. Right? Okay. So Treasures, I would think actually is not too bad a consideration, to be honest. Right? Okay. Although some people may not like it because there are 2,000 units stuff, right? But another story is actually, I got a lot of stories to share, not enough time anyway. High Park Residences, right? If you remember High Park Residences in Sengkang or Jalan Kayu, when it was launched in 2015, right, 1,004 units, it was also the biggest in Singapore. Before that, the biggest one is D'Leedon. That happened 10 years ago or 8 years ago, right? So when High Park Residences came, 1,004 people think you can buy or not, right? In the end also, the people who bought High Park in 2015, I can tell you today, all of them laughed their way all the way to the bank, right? Easily, every owner make at least 150,000, easily. 100,000, four of them easily close one eye, 150,000. That is the kind of truth for you. So whether is it 2,000 units or 1,000 units or 500 units, honestly, I don't think it matters so much, to be honest. Okay. Then Guang Kai asked about Penrose. Penrose again has this same problem with Claremont, I can tell you already, right? Penrose today, land cost 732 PSF, right? Of course, Penrose by who? CDL. CDL will look at next door. My next door, who is my next door? Sims Urban Oasis. Today selling at what price? 1,006 PSF. Oh, 1,006 PSF. Do you think my Penrose will launch below 1,006 PSF? I know lah. I know Facebook ads wow. I don't know who are the people running this kind of crazy advertisement. Telling you Penrose what? The price can sell for 1,400 1,400 PSF can buy you can Penrose. I tell you, if 1,400 wow, you really go and buy, go and chung and buy already. Right? Then what's the counter argument? Counter argument is that people tell me, or I think myself, oh, 2015, Sims Urban Oasis land cost only 680 PSF. Then when they launch, they also sell 1,003 680 PSF, they sell 1,003. That's for Sims Urban Oasis. Now, 5 years later, same location, next door only, next piece of land only. Land cost almost the same, 700 PSF, right? So why can't they sell also at 1,003 PSF, right? You go and find me this kind of developer because over the 5 years, don't forget, land cost has gone up in Singapore already. What was the norm, 1,003 5 years ago in 2015? It's not the norm today already. It's super cheap already, right today, right? So the thing is, and some more, right, construction costs, all these also go up over the years, right? So the thing is, today, if Penrose go and launch anything below 1,005 and 1,006, I think very unlikely, right? Again, I would think that the developer will benchmark very closely with this Sims Urban Oasis, which is about 1,006 today, right? So maybe the bigger unit, the 3-4 bedroom in Penrose, maybe they can go for slightly lower PSF, maybe can hit about 1,500 plus PSF, but all the 1 bedroom should be at least 1,006 to 1,007, right? And if you think about it, 1,006 to 1,007, right? The 1 bedroom usually is what kind of size? Either 441 or 474. You take 441, 474, you can multiply by even 1,750 1,750 PSF. The overall quantum is how much? 700 plus. I think even less than 800K. Can people afford 800K property, right, for 1 bedroom? This is the norm, right? So I would think that again, if you buy Penrose, then you become the most expensive there already. You're more expensive than the one next door, seems the one overseas. Unless you want to fight with the one at Antares lah. Antares also not cheap lah. Right? But why you want to go into this kind of battle? Right? We are finding value here, like, not asking to compete. Who is the most expensive? Like. You want to buy the most expensive project, then go and buy Orchard, 3005 PSF. Go and buy River Valley, Freehold, right? Go and buy all those, right? Okay, that is the highest in whole Singapore already. Let's see how high more you can go. But I don't want to play this kind of game. I want to play today. I want to go in. I can already know. No need to see. 4-5 years later, I know I can easily sell $200 more than what I buy today. That's what I want to play, right? Okay, that's for Penrose. Clover by the Park. Clover by the Park, this is a resale. In Bishan, this is not new launch. So I cannot comment on resale, honestly. Because if today you want to buy resale, go and refer back to my 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, the video recording. I already told you the problem already, okay? Matthew Mahendra, right? I already told you the problem already. Is that Sim Lian launched Clover by the Park 10 years ago, right? 2008, 2009, at about, what, 600-700 PSF, is it? Around that. Those days are very cheap, right? So today they're selling for about how much? 1,000, 3,000 for PSF. That should be the price in Bishan, resale price. So if today you buy 1,000, 3,000 for PSF, you compare to all your neighbors who bought 10 years ago, I'm sure a lot of them are still staying there, maybe at least 40 to 50% of them. They can continue to stay there for the next 10 years, right? And they can still sell 10 years later at 1,000, 3,000 for PSF. You are dead. I can tell you you are dead. Your price stuck there for the next 10 years. You won't go up. Okay, right? So that's for resale property, right? Copa and Newton, Justina, welcome. All right. So Copa and Newton is the one that I put in your recommendation, right? Yes, Copa and Newton, I think it is one of the I didn't share Copa tonight. I have no time to share Copa tonight, right? Okay. But Justina, if you read the report I gave you, right? Okay, it's actually a very detailed write-up over there. Okay, so for the rest of you who are curious about what this special report that I write, for special people, right? Okay, it's not a special report. It's because some people told me their property requirements, right? Oh, I've got this budget, 1 million, 2 million. I want to buy a condo today. What kind of condo can I buy? Then tell them new or resale is better. If new is better, which one? If resale is better, which one? Something like this. So Justina happened to be one of those people who actually I know, and then I gave her this report. And this report is actually 10 pages long. I write every single word myself. Right, none in the market one, right? But I never make this open because I don't want people to come and steal my thing, right? Go and broadcast to the whole world, right? So Copa, I got no time to go through it tonight. But I think, long story short, Copa is also another possibility which I think that you can easily make 150 to 200,000, right? Because if you compare it with the Newton properties, right? Copa entry price about 2.3, nearing to 2.4 already. Again, I can tell you, Copa, if you miss the boat, don't come and look for me again. I can tell you, right? Same story, the M. The M was launched in Bugis, right, in February this year. Why 70% of the people grab all the units are within one month all gone already, right? So today, can you still buy the M or not? Of course you cannot. Still got units left. But why should you buy the M today? Because you are buying all the lousy units, all the expensive and lousy units. You don't do this kind of thing, right? Today is already May, June already, right? So Copa is the same story. I can tell you, very few selected good units, right? If you miss, that's it. Bye-bye. Forget about Copa already. No talk about it already. Right. So you can see, it's not every new launch, wow, today launch, I got 3 years NTOP. I slowly, this month don't buy, next year also can buy, 2 years later also can buy. As long as I buy before TOP also can buy. No, right. A lot of new launches, their shelf life, that you can really go for those good units, only a few months only. Once you miss the boat, bye-bye, no more already. You want to buy those expensive units, can but then is your future next time you want to sell also becomes more challenging. That's it, right? No right and wrong, right? Yes, Copa is 99 years, right? But 99 years and go freehold, honestly, I don't care. Honestly, you see, my 3 to 5 years, I want to exit. You want to exit or not? You want to sell already? You buy freehold for what? Honestly, right? Unless you want to keep for your future generation, then that's a different story already, right? So Clarence Wong asked me Marina One. Marina One, again, the timing is a bit off already, right? Okay. Last year, when we launched this thing in October, November. If October, November, December, even up till December, you can grab, right? Okay. You can still get for about 2.1 to 2.2. In fact, I sold to one of my customer, right? Okay. He bought the 4th floor unit. Wow, his price damn good, I can tell you, he entered at only 2,107 PSF. 2,107. Wow, it's like, I cannot believe it for Marina One. I can tell you this is one of the cheapest already, Block 23, right? Okay. 2,107. Who cares about 4th floor, right? All the future people who go in, all about 2.3 or even some even 2.4. Right, okay. So if you go in now Marina One, you still can buy lah. If you don't take the deferred payment plan, you take the normal payment plan, you can go 2.3. Below 2.4 you can do. You can do because 3% off, right? But Marina One also a bit passe already. That means a bit outdated already, to be honest. But still can consider. But I think there are better choices in the market. Okay, right. So no more questions here. Okay, I come to the last one. The newspaper report today was big fire sale in the business time. This one already know 1 week ago already, right? You know what? How I know? I got students who are also property agent, right? Okay, from one of the agency see this thing already because they are marketing agent. They can tell me, hey, do you think you know I got a lot of students, right? Okay, you want to push any project out there, actually not too difficult. Just broadcast my student. If they're good, I'm sure maybe 1 or 2 will buy right? So ask me, hey, this one you think how 38 your voice, right? What fire sale, 200,000, but no, 300,000-400,000 off 2 million, want to sell 1.6 million, right? Then I look at it, okay, not bad, 300,000 off, right? But I look at it, at the end of the day, after the discount, you are still entering at rate here about 2001 PSF, 2001 PSF, 21, right? Okay. Yeah, before the discount, those people who bought 38 your voice before the discount, they bought at 24, right? Okay. But the thing is, discount or not, is just something which is like to entice you only, right? But at the end of the day, you must look at what is the kind of price you're going, right? Without discount 2.4, of course, nobody will consider, right? But now with the discount, wow, people think that, hey, not bad, 300,000-400,000 off. So they keep thinking about the 300,000-400,000, 300,000, 2 million become 1.6 million. Then their whole thinking process all haywire already, I tell you, right? Haywire already. And they go and buy at 2.1. Then I ask you this question: 2.1 you buy Redhill, are you at the most expensive? Correct or not? Right. My principal garden 1,600 only. Today I sell 2,000, I make $400 already. I'm very happy. You buy today, even after the discount at 38 your voice, you buy at 2.1. Next time you want to sell how much? 2.5. 2.5 can but is it challenging or not? Then it become another judgment call whether I think when or if Redhill can go to 2.5 or not. If Redhill take 10 years to go to 2.5, then and for me to make that $400, then might as well today I don't buy 38 your voice. I go and put my money somewhere. I make that $400 in some other new project faster. 3 to 5 years I can see already. You see Clement Canopy, this is an example, right? Okay, I got other examples, but I got no time to show you. 300,000-400,000 is possible, but you don't be so greedy. Let's just aim for 150 can now. 150 is very doable, right? 200 is also doable, right? Anything above 200 sometimes need to have a bit of luck, right? Okay, but I think anything between below 200, 100 to 200k appreciation in the next 3 to 4 years for a new launch, if you select carefully today, should be very doable one. That's why this is how I basically I select new properties today, right? So I think I've answered all the questions here, right? And thank you very much for everyone for watching. I see a lot of my students here actually, right? Okay. Ao Yong, Quek Tung Yang, nice to see you again, right? Okay, An Deng Chu, right? Vincent Chua and Nick Sim, right? Clarence Ong Beng Tek, right? So most of them are my students. Anyway, Matthew Mahendra, yes, 38 Job Voice is in District River Valley. No, should be Redhill side, should be District 4, I think. District 4, if I'm not wrong, right? That doesn't matter. I think that place is a bit too high, even after the discount. I mean, that's just my honest opinion, right? Okay. So you can see that if I really want to, honestly, I want to make money, I can tell you all to go and buy all these things already. Someone now today with the news so big, right? Obviously, they can attract a lot of attention, right? But the thing is, what is really my priority here? My priority for doing this for the last 1.5 hours is really, right? Okay. Hopefully, I know some of you are in the process of making a property investment decision. Is ready to help you to make that right choice, make that more informed decision. Of course, we will not know the outcome until a few years later when we look at the market again, right? But what I want to do is that from I just want to be as safe as possible. That you enter as a low risk and high upside potential. That's where I'm coming from, right? Why I want to do this, right? Is because very simple. Like I can keep 2015, 2016, 2017, whatever happened, right? Okay. I told my students, I told people that certain properties you can buy, right? And I'm glad today, 2020, those properties I chose, I would say most, if not all of them, turn out well, right? So I want this kind of legacy to continue, right? Very simple. It's because I don't just sell properties, right? Okay, I have a property agent license, yes, but more importantly is that my background is really in training, right? Training, education. I've been doing, 2 full day, 3 full day property programs since 2014. I've taught like easily 1,000 people, right? Okay, and when I put myself up in front, right, and share information with people, right, I have to make sure that I will be able to continue to do so, right, for a long, long time in the future. I don't want to just because of, for example, I want to make your commission or whatever, I should go and buy 38 your voice. Very simple, wow, newspaper headline so big. Already half sold already, a lot of people, right, okay, 400,000, right, okay. So the thing is, I don't really want to do that because if I don't see value, I tell you I don't see value, right, okay. And hopefully, like 4 to 5 years down the road, you really can have that 200K. Let's not be greedy, 200K. And I can go out there to tell people again, today is 2025, 2020, 2021, I told people to buy ABC condo, XYZ condo, not because today on hindsight, I see all this condo make money that I tell you this kind of thing today, right, okay, right. I already told the whole world back in 2020, right, these properties can buy already. Why? Because the reason is very strong, right? So like the Principal Garden example you see, all those newspaper cuttings, right, okay, how can you go and find a newspaper cuttings today in straight time? 7 years ago, the newspaper. No, I go and capture the screenshot from online, right, okay. So the thing is, this is really the research I put through, right? So anyway, I really hope that, through whatever I shared in the last 1.5 hours, is something very personal for me, very original. And I'm not sure how the rest of the people out there analyze new launches, right? I also didn't have much chance to learn from them, but I'm actually very comfortable with what I am doing, right? In terms of how I find, right? Because I think the risk is extremely low. Just like Potong Pasir, right? Tanjong Pagar example. If every year there's just one of such example, I can tell you enough already. Why you bother about the rest of the 99 properties or how many properties out there? If today 100 projects in the market, only got one avenue south, and today is September 2019, October 2019, enough already. Honestly, do you have so much money to every year buy a property? You ask yourself. Also, nobody got so much money, right? So you just need that one so-called, to help you. That's it, right? The rest, to me, are just a lot of noise, lah. So thanks very much. It's past 11 already. I really appreciate, your audience here and all the questions you have asked, right? All the encouragement and support you have given me, right? And I hope to do this more often, right? For the last 4 weeks, Colin Goh and myself have been doing this every week, right? So we came up with, this series of different topics over the 4 weeks now, right? So moving forward, next week I think we'll take a break, right? Next week I'll take a break. We'll announce again when we'll do this, right? And of course it will be slightly different topics, right? Okay, and it will not be like one shot, maybe 1 hour so long, right? Okay, maybe I will just give maybe I'll just do myself, right? Because Colin Goh sometimes is busy, right? Okay, so I may just do myself, maybe 10-20 minutes, just do a Facebook Live kind of thing. You'll still be notified as long as you are following either my PSF Real Estate Academy fan page or even myself, you'll be notified. Right. So for the rest of you who are already watching now, you should be notified in future if I do any specific topics, right? So it can be new launches, it can be resale market, it can be even case studies. Right? I've got a lot of case studies, right, that I can share with you, right? Because over the years I do a lot of consultation, and you'll be amazed actually how much potential people have when they go and invest in properties in a safe and correct manner, right?
Okay, so yeah, so for all of you who have been watching for the past 1.5 hours, wow, 1.5 hours. This is almost like a full workshop, So if you found some value and you think that what Colin Lee has been sharing so far makes a lot of sense, and maybe you got some good tips out of this, and maybe maybe you don't want to invest right now, but whatever he shared is going to help you save some money from making some stupid mistakes. Why don't you just key in the comments down there and just give your gratitude to Colin, share a little bit about how he benefited your journey in property investing, how he has helped you today, and help it's just broaden your horizons in terms of the knowledge that you have. So I think really, we're going to take a break. We'll see what is going to happen in the coming weeks. And Colin Lee says 15-20 minutes. I don't believe it, you know. Once he starts sharing, it's easily 1 hour. So for the rest of you who want to tune in, just prepare yourself. When you say 15 minutes means 1 hour, okay? When you say 1 hour means 2 hours, all right? That's so much value he can give. But meanwhile, I think what is more important is this. For those of you who really needs to know a little bit more about your personal questions and you want to seek the consultation of Colin, maybe one of the things you can do is go to the PSF Real Estate Academy Facebook page and then send a PM down there. So I'm quite sure that, you know, over these few days, there will be tons of people asking questions to Colin E. But, you know, I'm quite sure because he's giving so much value, right? He'll find some time to answer some of your queries. Yeah. And even if you want to find you know, a way to connect with him one-to-one, or maybe think about subscribing to one of his future workshops, right? I don't know when he's going to conduct one. Get in touch with him also. Okay, so he will let you know what is going to happen. But really, I think the other thing that I suggest and I recommend that you do is also let Colin know about what you want to know in the next Facebook Live, so he can maybe prepare for this. Okay, so I think today has been a super long session, but the value is also correspondingly super. And yeah,
Colin,
so
sorry, I just remember one thing. I always have this shortcoming, right? That I don't tend to do a lot of publicity for myself, right? Okay, because maybe I don't know. Although I can say myself as a trainer, I like to stand in front of a stage to share information with people. That's really what I like to do, right? Okay, but as me as a person, am I the loud mouth, extrovert type? I would say no, right? No, I still provide my own private space. So I think tonight I have shared some, in my opinion, some very useful information. If you could just help me, right, all of you who are still with me right now, if you would just help me, right, okay, if you can go to your own personal, homepage, and if you think that tonight what I share with you has been useful, right, please maybe comment and write a short post and share it on your own, Facebook page, so that your friends can see this. We never know, right? Because your friends may be also in the process of wanting to do property investment or whatever, and my advice may be potentially help the person, transform $200,000, $300,000 in terms of opportunity cost or mistakes or maybe the wealth creation, right? So we really don't know who are the people out there who may benefit. It's just like for the past 4 weeks, Colin Goh and myself decided to do this. We also don't know who are the people who's going to tune in to watch. We do not know, right? But whoever want to watch, I think that we can add value to them. We just help them. So if you really think that tonight what I share with you is something very original and useful for you, right? Okay, please do help me by going to your Facebook page to share my post on your personal page, right? So that your friends can be notified as well. Because I don't know who are your friends. And Facebook has this algorithm that the more the more interaction, the more engagement there are. Usually, they will also think that this is good content. They will push out to more people, right? So this is how my own personal effort, I'm limited, but together, I think we can help more people make correct or better property investment decisions. Right? So this is just one request that I have from you. Yeah.
So
thank you very much.
Two very simple things tonight before we end. Number one, okay, just hit the share button right now. Just hit the red share button right now. Share it to your timeline. Okay, so that's the least you can do. Colin has given you over 1.5 hours of value. All you need to do is just press a share button, okay? And that will share this Facebook Live to your friends. That's number one. Number two, I think over and above sharing to your friends, if you know that you have friends or relatives who are about to commit into a property investment, why not ask them to contact Colin directly? Maybe he can be able to give them some advice face to face, and then something that is what he said original. That can potentially save them from some trouble, or maybe he can recommend a good buy as well. Yeah, so two small little things that I think me as a friend for Colin E, I request for you to do. So share this post right now. Don't wait. Click on the share button right now. Yes, right now. Share right now, okay? And then after that, if you have any friends, any relatives, just let Colin know about it. Okay, so I think that's all the time we have today, and then for the past 5 weeks, I think it's a tremendous privilege and pleasure for me to be sharing this stage with Colin E. So like I said, I know him as one of the more different property trainers and also property agents out there. Yeah, okay, so I think continue to follow PSF Real Estate Academy Facebook page, and you'll get your updates from there. All right, that's it from us. Bye-bye, good night.
Okay, bye-bye, good night. Hope to see you soon. Bye.